And so we're going to look at the topic of the dualistic nature of the universe. So the fourth hermetic principle is the principle of polarity. And this principle states that everything, absolutely everything, has its pairs of opposites. And this includes the universe itself. Its pairs of opposites. So the universe and everything in it has a dualistic nature. A dualistic nature. A dualistic expression and a dualistic makeup. Now, this dualistic nature or polarity reveals itself to us that everything exists, that everything in the universe exists under the dominion of the opposing forces that are apparently conflicting in nature and mutually existing. For example, we have day and night. If we're looking at this planet, we have day and night. We have light and dark. We have yin and yang. We have life and death. We have spirit and matter. We have balance and imbalance, just to name a few. We have white magic and black magic. We have opposing forces as a polarity that exists in the universe. There has to be a balance in the universe. So both light and dark, as polarities, serve a divine purpose. Day and night, for instance, do they serve a purpose? Absolutely, they serve a purpose. So these polarities, they serve a purpose, a divine purpose. Within the dualistic nature of the universe, there is what is called the eternal battle between these powers of light and the forces of darkness. That which represents order and that which represents chaos or lack of order or disintegrating. So one is forming order and one is the disintegrating or chaotic energy. Both light and dark have opposing objectives. When they are in balance, they maintain the natural balance that is within the universe. So it's very important to understand that the dualistic powers and forces of the universe are neutral. They're neutral. What does that mean, neutral?
No sort of, I was going to say, no agenda or...
They're not good or they're not bad. They're not good or they're not bad. Do you notice in my list of opposites, I didn't say good or bad, did I? They're just forces that exist in the universe, doing what they do. They are neutral. The powers and the forces just do what they do. They are not predisposed in themselves to bringing about positive or negative manifestations, what we would call positive or negative, i.e. good or bad. They are not predisposed to that, other than what they naturally embody. So they follow only, you might say, almost a mechanical or an impersonal law that is essential for the integrity of the universe. So we immediately move when we start to understand these teachings of the ancient path, that we're moving beyond good and evil as forces in the universe. It's just polarity that exists. The important thing, so once we're clear on that, the important thing is to understand is that these two forces can be used and manipulated by people to bring about healing or harm, order or disruption. So the universal force that is represented by the words dark, yang, death, matter is not in itself problematic. as it carries out one of the essential functions of the universe. The universal forces that represent light, yin, life and spirit are not problematic in themselves because they represent force in the universe. We look at the yin-yang, you know, the symbol of yin-yang, forces in the universe, in balance, in eternal motion. So it only becomes problematic when a person focuses or does not understand what that these forces can be used intentionally or unintentionally. You know, we think it's the forces themselves. It isn't. It's people use these forces, whether it's intentionally or unintentionally, for good or let's say evil, which is just another word for against life. So the age-old battle between the powers of light and the forces of darkness is primarily fought through people. You know, through people. By people and through people. Generally speaking, it's not a battle the universe is fighting, generally speaking. You might have heard Rose when she was here last year, and she was, I think, talking about she's got no time for people who go on about love and light, because it's only half the picture. The moment you go on about love and light, then you've got an imbalance there. So on this path, on the ancient path, what we are doing is walking what is referred to as the middle path. Between the polarities of the universe, the straight and narrow way, the razor's edge, the sword-edged path, the path that is created when the dualistic forces of the universe are perfectly balanced within our consciousness, within the consciousness of the Master Healer Shaman. That's what makes a Master Healer Shaman. And that means they have mastered the ability to balance the opposing forces of the universe within themselves. They will work with either polarity to suit their needs and objectives. They will use the force of light and life when they want to expand or vivify something, and they will use the force of darkness and death when they want to end something and return its component parts to the primordial chaos. To project light, they will work with spirit, and to solidify or physically stabilise something, they will work with matter. Working with spirit and matter. So the Master Healer Shaman strides across the world like Odin, accompanied by his two wolves. And we see that imagery or symbolic imagery in various, throughout various cultures, just shown in different ways. You know, whether it's the two wings of the great eagle, whether it's Odin with his two wolves, or even his two ravens, but primarily in this instance his two wolves. He's at peace with his two wolves. He's in the centre. And if we stay with that symbolic, the symbolism of the wolves, I don't know if any of you have heard the old Cherokee tale about the Cherokee man teaching his grandson about life. And he said, a fight is going on. He said to the boy, a fight is going. There's variations of the tale, but they all say the same thing. A fight is going on inside me, he said to the boy. It's a terrible fight, and it's between two wolves. One is evil. He's angry, and he is anger, envy, sorrow, regret, greed, arrogance, self-pity, guilt, resentment, inferiority, lies, false pride, superiority and ego, he continued. The other is good. He is joy, peace, love, hope, serenity, humility, kindness, benevolence, empathy, generosity, truth, compassion and faith. The same fight is going on inside you and inside every other person too. The grandson thought about it for a moment, and then he asked his grandfather, which wolf will win? And the old Cherokee simply replied, the one you feed. So that's one version of the story. And the other one that is not so well known, the grandfather replies, if you feed them right, both will win. You see, if I only choose to feed the white wolf, the black one will be hiding around every corner, waiting for me to become distracted or weak and jump to get the attention he craves. He will always be angry and always fighting the white wolf. But if I acknowledge him, he is happy, and the white wolf is happy, and we all win. For the black wolf has many qualities, such as tenacity, courage, fearlessness, strong-willed, and great strategic thinking that I have need of at times, and the white wolf lacks. But the white wolf has compassion, caring, strength, and the ability to recognise what is in the best interests of all. You see, son, the white wolf needs the black wolf at his side. To feed only one would starve the other, and they will become uncontrollable. To feed and care for both means they will serve you well and do nothing that is not a part of something greater, something good, something of life. Feed them both, and there will be no more internal struggle for your attention. And when there is no battle inside, you can listen to the voices of deeper knowing that will guide you in choosing what is right for every circumstance. Peace, my son, is the Cherokee mission in life. A man or a woman who has peace inside has everything. A man or woman who is pulled apart by the war inside him or her has nothing. How you choose to interact with the opposing forces within you will determine your life. Starve one or the other, or guide them both. An understanding of the dualistic forces in the universe that just exist, and that as humans we are learning to walk, to manage the two wolves and honour both wolves, and understand the qualities and attributes that the white wolf has that we need and are valuable to us, and the qualities and skills that the black wolf has that are valuable to us. So on this path we are at peace with the forces of the universe, not seeing one is better than the other, just energies that we can work with, and understanding that on some days one of those energies may be more, just in our life, is more predominant than others. For instance, have you ever felt some days are more hard work than others? What do you think that, tell me about that, which, based in relationship to what I've just said to you, you're having some days are just hard work, right? What is that? That's a black wolf day, isn't it? You need your black wolf, because all the love and light in the world isn't going to kind of push through the crap that you've got to get through or get done. So you need your black wolf. You need black wolf. So seers, adepts, masters, master healer, shaman, understand that, let's use the word evil, and understanding that we've just made it clear that the dualistic nature of the universe is neutral, correct? It's neutral. It's human mind, or human, that then use the forces for, say, to create evil or darkness as it expresses on a physical plane. So, evil or darkness imparts the quality of restriction or limitation. It concentrates or focuses. So evil is esoterically seen to be a limitation or compression which enables pressure to be increased or raised in consciousness. Make sense to you? So life is viewed very differently. Life is not viewed as good or bad, or things aren't viewed as good or bad. They just are. It's what we do with it that matters. So everything is just is. And there's a peace with that. Because it just is. In the teachings of the goddess, and you'll see, just looking at in her book of the tarot, and you'll see the image of the high priestess. She's there, and she's sitting between two pillars. One's white and one's black. And she's perfectly poised between the two. And she is perfectly poised, her spirit, soul perfectly poised between the two polarities of the universe. In some decks, the black pillar has a white letter on it. And the white pillar has a black letter on it. That's right. So in other words, it's all one. What's in one is in the other. So that symbolism, once again, the black and the white, the balance, that there she is. The thing to remember is that the further along the path we go, the higher up the mountain we go, the further along the path we go, the path gets narrower and narrower. And there is less and less slippage for us to go into extremes of reaction of any type. We have less and less slippage to let black wolf loose. We learn to control and walk that narrow path. Develop that as an art form, knowing that you become more powerful as you go up and you have a responsibility to manage that power. So become very mindful of everything is just energy, everything is just vibration, and the dualistic nature of the universe, we have to find that balance and hold that line, hold that path. Two opposing forces, when we have them balanced in us, makes for a dynamic receptivity. There's a dynamic receptivity. There's an aliveness. But dynamic receptivity is the best way to describe it.